that time of the year again where we all might feel a little down. What NEDA and other organizations are doing to help us feel mentally healthy.
Uplifting the culture with music. More on that later.
Furman University announces exciting plans for the future of Timmons Arena, coming up next. Hello and welcome to Nightly News. I'm Alex MAIER. Let's get right into our top story. Timmons Arena will soon have a new look. This week they announced plans for a $40 million renovation.
This is major news for Furman as Timmons has been open since 1997 and hasn't received much of a makeover. The renovations will begin soon after basketball season is done. This project couldn't have been done without the help of our faithful donors though. Furman received over 200 large donations for the project as well as 10 seven-figure gifts and 31 six-figure gifts. Furman is currently entering Phase 2 of the process as they have already expanded and renovated the locker rooms, film rooms, and basketball offices. The next step will include the addition of donor suites, premium seating and hospitality, improved student experience, enhanced food, beverage, and merchandise concession areas, upgrades to the entrance and exterior, and changes to the courts and seating. Athletic Director Jason Donnelly says the renovations will boost our basketball program.
The return on investment is why we're doing it. When you look at what we're trying to accomplish, it impacts every key performance in the theater. We've seen a measurable increase in admissions. It's not directly tied to basketball, but it's a big part of what we're doing. We've seen a direct tied increase in fundraising in terms of all the support. We've seen a direct tied increase in engagement, opportunities for academics, all the different things that take place there. But the biggest return on investment is the opportunity to continue to grow this program, to try to attract the best of the best when we talk about student athletes, when we talk about students, and have this be a haven for athletics, not just for basketball, but for all the sports that we support. And we're really excited about that.
It's safe to say the announcement was a slam dunk, leaving the Furman community excited for the future of basketball. Head coach Bob Ritchie sees the new arena as opportunity for growth.
Get on the bus, we head over there, we play. I think it's an opportunity. I think it's an opportunity to continue to grow the fan base and bring awareness to our program and what we're doing.
There's a lot of work to be done before the Dens will be able to play at Timmons again in the fall of 2025.
In the meantime, next season's men's team will play at Bon Secures Arena downtown, and the women's games will be hosted at North Greenville University, just up the road. One Paladin is a step closer today to winning $10,000 in the Paladin Pitch Competition. The Hill Institute held their annual mini pitch competition last night in Burgess Theater. The event is a way for students to pitch their ideas without the pressure that comes during the Paladin Pitch in April. 3 students were allowed 5 minutes to present to a panel of judges, followed by a round of questions. In a decision decided by 1 point, junior Sukinya Pitwapwa won and is moving on to the big competition in April.
We have more applications than we've ever had in the past, which is really telling, as this is marking as the highest generation of entrepreneurs that the world has really ever seen.
If you have an idea, there is still time to apply for the Paladin Pitch that will be held on April 11th. In the fast-paced digital world, having a powerful tool to bring together all aspects of campus life is very useful. DISHA Patel has the story. DISHA?
Thank you. Whether you're a Furman student or staff member, having a reliable source for campus update is very valuable. This is where the Furman Now app steps in.
So 4 years ago, the Furman Computer Science Department began developing the Furman Now app, which was intended to bring together all sorts of information about campus.
That app includes things like where the trolley is at, the menu at the DH, library hours, and important phone numbers.
That app has kind of fallen by the wayside in the past couple of years, partly because it's had to be developed separately for Android and iOS so that we can keep it. And it's no longer actually on the App Store.
So Michael Peeler's senior seminar project this year for computer science will be building the app, combining those old features with some new ones.
Part of my goal with the new features that I'm adding is also to increase the accessibility of news information on and about campus. Even if students know about the Paladin, they might not know about other journals or groups on campus that provide news, like The Echo, Cristo et Doctrine, or Nightly News. I'll be working together to bring these sources of information into the app so that students can have a singular or central point that they can go to find these things.
It's also a place where students can search for information about what's happening on campus.
Jonathan Dewey,
a senior, and thinks having information at your finger will help them stay organized.
I would use this
Most definitely, because I like how it has a lot of information that you would have to go on Furman's website to see. I like how I can see all the hours of all the things on campus, so I don't have to go through the website and search for it myself. And also having all the contacts readily available for you is also very nice in case I need to call IT really quickly or get a safe ride to my apartment.
Michael Peeler tells me he's currently tweaking some things on the app right now and will be launching the app by the end of the semester. Thank you for listening. Back to you.
Once he launches, you will be able to find the app in both iOS and Android in the App Store. Furman faculty, staff, and students gather in Johns Hall for a COP on diversity, equality, and inclusion. Liz Holmes discussed how DEI plays a role in corporate America. Last Thursday, Furman Gospel Choir held its annual Black History Month concert. Our Jada Walker has more.
Gospel music is more than just music for the Black community. It is the culture.
Gospel music is, it came from a mix of hymnals and spirituals, and so it has a big cultural significance.
That cultural significance was shared when the Furman community gathered at the chapel to listen and learn.
Spirituals are what slaves sung back during slavery. It was a source of hope.
That hope is shown in the advocacy the Gospels propelled through the Civil Rights Movement.
You can't talk about the Civil Rights Movement without talking about the Black church. When you talk about Reverend Dr. King, whenever he gave a speech, you would have a gospel singer sing before. It's just really a huge cultural thing.
While gospel music is celebrating culture and advocating for Black communities, it is still the culture, and anyone can enjoy this music that uplifts your soul. Reporting on the chapel, Jada Walker for Nightly News.
If you would like to join the gospel ensemble, you can email Mila Crosby at mila.crosby@furman.edu. Spades Night has been postponed to the second week of March. We will keep you posted on the new date, time, and location. However, next week is the last week to continue to celebrate Black History Month, and there is a few more events on the calendar that you can attend. If you've been feeling down lately, the weather could be the cause. Seasonal depression affects around 25% of college students in the U.S. according to a study by Appalachian State University. Some signs may be lack of motivation, self-isolation, feelings of sadness, and difficulty concentrating compared to summer months. Jordan Fleming, a clinical intern at the Trone Center for Mental Fitness, describes that you may feel as though you're in a funk. She suggests exposure to sunlight when possible.
I think that when we're thrown off because of the seasonal change and like the darkness coming earlier, just getting that sunlight can really kind of make a difference. But also, you know, being connected to the counseling center and, you know, being a part of the community that you're a part of, relying on your friends, and overall just utilizing the resources around you and not trying to take it on by yourself, because it happens and it's normal and it's nothing to be ashamed about.
If you would like to connect with the counselors at the Trone Center for Mental Fitness, visit their website by searching Trone Center Furman. February 26th through March 3rd is National Eating Disorders Week. Furman's own NEDA Coalition was formed by Carly Gillis. They'll be holding events all week. Operation Sticky Note, Power in the Pack, and Tabling Help, promoting positivity for those struggling. On February 26th at 6:30 p.m., they will be hosting a COP in Patrick Lecture Hall. Panelists will discuss the worldwide societal cost and scientific implications of eating disorders. Carly Gillis shares what this means to her.
This is one of my favorite weeks of the year just because of the memories and meanings it has for me. Making that help more accessible and making those supports more well known is just a big goal we have that week, and one of the biggest goals of Power in the Pack.
If you're struggling with an eating disorder, call this 24-hour hotline for help, 888-375-7767. New research shows our perceptions about body image issues may be wrong. The preconception about both body image issues and disordered eating is that these are issues that only affect white upper middle class people. Recent research has shown that this isn't the case. According to the National Eating Disorders Association, Black teenagers are 50% more likely than white teenagers to exhibit bulimic behavior. People of color with eating disorders are half as likely to receive diagnosis or treatment, and a recent study found that non-white groups are underrepresented in eating disorder research. To learn more about the ways that body image and disordered eating manifests in diverse communities, attend Dr. Taryn Meyer's CLP, Who Really Struggles with Their Body, on Thursday, February 29th at 5 p.m. in Johns 101. Speaking of CLPs, here are a few other options occurring this week. Monday is a pretty busy day for CLPs. There is a lecture on linguistics during Common Hour from The Hobbit to Homer and back again at 5 p.m. A NEDA info session at 6:30 and a talk on religion in life at 7:30 p.m. If the arts is more of your thing, on Tuesday, the Furman Symphony Orchestra is having a concert at 7:30 p.m. and there is a lecture on conservatism in America at 8. On Wednesday, the Conservatism in America lecture continues for a second session. Guest artist Ming Long will lecture on her research and artwork. We wrap up the week with 3 CLPs on Thursday. A dancer performance by Professor Wright at 5 p.m., a presentation of eating disorders also at 5 p.m., and a speaker session titled Writing Bone Pickers at 6:30 p.m. Attending one or more of these CLPs is a great way to stay on top of your academic obligations before spring break. Last week, we brought you a story on the electric car spaces on campus. Now we have a quick update for you. Last week, we reached out to the FUPO on the number of registered electric cars on campus, and we have received a response. Chief Milby says they currently don't track that separately from registration. However, the system that they use will be upgraded over the summer, so it can give them all of that data beginning next fall. Once we are better able to track the amount of electric cars, we will know if there are an appropriate amount of electric car parking spots on campus. But facilities and Chief Milby both say the number of electric car spaces is based on projections of electric car sales. Last week, we told you guys about the shortage of pickleball courts. Most recently, we received an email from Jeff Redderson and have good news. There will be 3 new pickleball courts in North Village, and they are adding an additional 3 courts in the South Housing as part of their renovation plans. The new play Screentime has been showing on campus this week. Let's go to Marissa to learn more about it.
Thanks, Alex. You don't want to miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to see the world premiere of a brand new play. The play, Screentime, was written by Furman's very own professor, Dr. Margaret Catarazano. Margaret is the costume design and costume crafts professor here at Furman. She first started working here in 1986 and only recently began her writing career.
It happened over COVID, when we all had to just take quiet time and isolate, quarantine, and think about things. And I started writing. I just found out I enjoyed it. I did always want to be a writer, yes, but I thought I didn't know enough. So I would try to just stay in my lane. But the truth of the matter is, you just need to know a little bit. You can make stuff up.
40 years into her career, Dr. Catarazano has successfully begun a brand new chapter in her life as a playwright. And her success in just a few short years has been remarkable. Just last year, Dr. Catarazano was awarded with the Furman Standard Grant to continue developing women-centered plays.
It's very exciting because I've been able to work on a show we're opening in New York City.
If you know anything about the theater, you know that having a play running in New York is a dream that few playwrights achieve. And few could say that there is a person more deserving than Margaret Catarazano.
She's just so kind, endearing. She's the type of person who, you walk in her office, you could just say whatever. I love Margaret.
Dr. Catarazano's play, Screentime, has a few more shows playing at the Playhouse. It is a dramatic comedy that is sure to get you cackling. If you're a supporter of the arts, Furman, or just a fan of Margaret Catarazano, make sure you see Screentime this weekend, here at the Playhouse. This has been Marissa SCHABES with the Nightly News. Now back to you, Alex.
I can't wait to see it. Screentime will be showing Friday and Saturday at 7:30 p.m. and Sunday at 2 p.m. Don't miss it. The Big Man on Campus extravaganza is back this week and next. 9 participants from 7 organizations across campus are practicing their talents so that they can each bring their unique flair and charisma to the forefront.
Big Man on Campus is Zeta Tau Alpha's biggest fundraising event of the year. It is a male beauty pageant with contestants from organizations around campus, and they are competing with their talents, questions about our philanthropy, and dancing, and they're all raising money for our philanthropy, breast cancer education, and awareness.
BMOC is presented by Zeta Tau Alpha. BMOC will take place in McAllister Auditorium on February 29th at 7:30 p.m. Fun and philanthropy. That's a combination you won't want to miss. Students, the 2024-2025 SGA elections are coming up. Let's take a look at the candidates for the positions you'll be voting on.
Junior Yassine Icheki is currently the only one running for president, and he is currently vice president.
Our two vice president candidates are junior Tate Denham and sophomore Miriam Nguyen, who both hope to earn their first position in SGA. Junior Andrew Cooter is running for a second term as treasurer, which he currently is against sophomore Elijah Kozak. Running for secretary is junior Carly Gillis, who currently holds the position along with sophomore Lane Lytle. Lastly, junior Jennifer Woolery is the sole candidate for academic affairs chairperson. For more information regarding the candidates, visit SyncedIn.
The elections will be held on February 27th and 28th. Students can vote via SyncedIn. Speaking of elections, the South Carolina Republican presidential primary is scheduled for February 24th. That's this Saturday. On the ballot, Palmetto State native and former Governor Nikki Haley, former President Donald Trump, and Equity Group CEO Ryan Binkley. If you did not vote in the Democratic primary, you can vote this Saturday. Polling stations will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Saturday to verify your voter registration status and find your designated voting location. Visit the website szvotes.gov for confirmation. We are not hosting a TED Talk event on campus this year, but this Saturday at noon, Greenville will be unified as TEDx is back after a pause due to the pandemic. Greenville local Evan Rogers, a filmmaker from California, and Dr. Kaipo Sotelo, a physical therapist originally from Guam, initiated a return for TED to Greenville with the goal of bringing together people with a next level energy who can inspire each other to drive forward our community. 15 speakers will be given a platform to share their story along the theme movement. Dr. Sotelo, who grew up in Guam, sees the impact of TED Talks transcend borders from his classroom growing up to college kids in the U.S. today.
I've loved TED Talks ever since I was little. I love the concept of them and the people and how excited they are talking about them. I wanted to be part of that energy, and so did my partner Evan. And so that's where we kind of came up with it, and we're thankful that the TED Commission allowed us to have a license for this.
As of this broadcast, the event is sold out. To join the waitlist, you can visit TEDxUnityPark.com. Some of you may be feeling more relaxed today after getting a visit from our furry friends provided by the Office of Spiritual and Student Life.
Reporting here from Trone Student Center, where students are experiencing a fun form of stress relief. Promoting mental wellness, Furman has brought on therapy dogs to campus.
Just like the students learning new things, these therapy dogs were able to show off their new skills. Watching these therapy dogs learn tricks on top of students getting to play with them seems to really bring a lot of smiles into Trone Student Center. While some were showing off their new tricks, others were peacefully enjoying the moment.
It's not every day you see therapy dogs here on campus, and of course students did not want to miss out. I myself would say that they provided a huge stress relief.
I mean, who doesn't love petting a fluffy pet? Dogs have a special way of making us feel better after a long day. They take away all worries by bringing their joy. The dogs came in all different shapes and sizes. Some were tiny, some were big, but they all had one thing in common, which was making us feel better. After all the playtime, they were feeling a bit tired, so it was time for them to rest and recharge for more fun later.
Reporting for Nightly News, I'm Michael Robinson.
We look forward to having the therapy dogs back on campus during exams. Up next, Ryan Lamb shares what the Furman athletic teams have been up to.
It's been an exciting week for Furman sports. Let's start with the women's tennis team. Women's tennis lost a close one to Harvard on Saturday, 3-4, but extinguished the Liberty Flames on Monday, 4-3. The Dens looked hot this weekend. Let's check out the scores. Softball hosted the Furman Softball Invitational Tournament at Pepsi Stadium over the weekend, topping IUPUI 3-2 and then Townsend 5-1. They fell to the Georgetown Hoyas 4-8, but capped off the weekend defeating Lipscomb 9-3. Yesterday, they went to Columbia to play number 17 ranked South Carolina, where they were shut out 8-0. The Dens now move to 7-3 on the season. Women's basketball took the Terriers for a walk on Thursday, winning 64-51. Wofford's SoCon MVP frontrunner Rachel Rose couldn't do it alone against an outstanding team effort from the Paladins, who had 3 players score in double figures. Men's basketball stopped the Chattanooga Mocs mid-flight, crushing them 82-65. UTC had no answer for JP Pegues and his team, as the Dens led by as many as 24 in the first half. JP dropped a career-high 33 points as men's basketball had a tight one against Samford last night, Furman was in control entering the final minute, but let the Bulldogs score 7 points in the final 40 seconds to take away the game from the Dens. Several fans have been confused regarding Alex Williams' absence from the last 3 games. On Sunday, CBS Sports Network told viewers he is out indefinitely for a violation of team rules. Here's what head coach Bob Ritchie had to say after the game.
Day to day, just situation he and I are working through, and it's not gonna make a ton of comments on it, but I love Alex, and he made a mistake and he's owned it, and our plan is to move forward and him be a big part of this.
Women's lacrosse bounced back to earn their first win of the season against Kennesaw State, 19-15. The Dens came back from behind to win thanks to a school record 9 goals by junior Anna Roser. The goal record was set back in 2017 by Ashley Trice against Stetson. Way to go, Anna. Yesterday, women's lacrosse couldn't keep the momentum going, coming up short 13-9. The Dens had another great weekend as they ran to new records at the USC Indoor Open in Columbia, South Carolina. JOANNA Lunsford has the story.
That's right, both the men's and women's teams secured plenty personal bests and even some new hardware. But for these athletes, it's deeper than chasing the gold. It's about pushing past their limits and setting new standards. For starters, 5th-year Cameron Ponder raced his 5th career sub-4-minute mile with a personal record of 3 minutes and 57 seconds. Next, senior Dylan Schubert ran his first collegiate mile, placing 2nd with a time of 3 minutes and 58 seconds. Pretty casual for a first-timer, right? Both athletes were paced by senior Carson Williams, who later went on to finish 3rd in the men's 800 meter with a time of 1 minute and 52 seconds. Let's hear what Carson plans to do with his talents after college.
Yeah, so I definitely want to run professionally after college. That's been a goal of mine since my freshman year, and it feels like each year I spend in college, it gets a little bit more feasible. And so I'm hoping by the end of my 5th year that I have the opportunity to run professionally. That's really been a huge goal of mine, so that's the next step.
As for the women's team, junior Sierra Bauer took gold in the mile with a time of 4 minutes and 46 seconds. Bauer led the mile with 5 Furman women who placed among the top 6.
It was a really fun race because I was pacing one of my teammates, Nicole, to try to run a PR. She had a big goal of going sub 450 this season, and she ran 447. So it was just really fun to see that. And then also 2 other of my teammates, Callie and Claire, also ran really big personal bests. So it was just a really exciting day for all the girls in the mile.
Senior Madeline Cadeau also championed first place as she timed 9 minutes and 43 seconds in the women's 3,000 meter. Following Bauer's achievement, we had several personal records set in the women's mile. At 2nd place with a time of 4 minutes and 47 seconds, 5th-year Nicole Matishik secured a PR. Following her in 3rd place, 5th-year Abigail Robertson PR'd at 4 minutes and 51 seconds. Coming in 4th was sophomore Claire Garrett with a PR of 4 minutes and 59 seconds. And junior Callie Harper finished 6th with a PR of 5 minutes and 2 seconds. What a record-setting weekend for these Dens. As they head into SoCon, the Dens are shooting for 97 points total for each team in honor of Bryce Stanfield.
Thanks, JOANNA. Stay tuned as these Dens rest up and prepare their bodies for the SoCon Championship this weekend in Lexington, Virginia. In several sports, the Dens are entering the home stretch, and for others, their seasons are just getting started. Let's see what our teams are up to this weekend. Softball heads to Conway, South Carolina for the Battle at the Beach tournament. Friday, they'll take on Louisville and then Bowling Green. Saturday, they'll do it, but in reverse, and take on Bowling Green, then Louisville. They'll end their weekend against the tournament host, Coastal Carolina, Sunday at noon. Men's tennis will face some stiff competition this weekend, battling Clemson today, Jacksonville State on Saturday, and taking on UNC in Chapel Hill on Monday. Men's basketball takes on our upstate rival Wofford Saturday at 2. The Terriers won the first matchup in Spartanburg, dominating the paint and shooting lights out. This matchup will be critical to determine seeding in the SoCon tournament. On Wednesday, they'll head to Colowee to take on the Catamounts. Western Carolina is led by Vontarius Woolbright, who dropped 27 on the Dens in Greenville. He is 4th among NCAA players in points per game and 2nd in rebounds. He will likely match up against JP Pegues, who will try to knock him off his path to the SoCon MVP. That's all for your upcoming games. But there's just one question that has been pondering in my head.
What's that, Ryan?
What is a catamount?
Sounds like a soft, fluffy kitten or something like that. I don't know.
Definitely something that couldn't kill a paladin, that's for sure.
No chance against a paladin.
This has been Ryan Lamb.
And I'm Alex Mayer.
Thanks for watching Nightly News.